Welcome back. It's been just over 3 weeks since my last chess video. It might not be that long since I uploaded a video, but my last several videos I've been spacing out the editing because I've had other stuff to do. I have been playing chess and doing puzzles every day, but not very much. I just make enough moves in my daily games to keep from losing on time, and every day I solve the daily puzzle on chess.com and Lichess. But today I'm going to play some April bots because they've put April bots here on chess.com. These are apparently Earth Day bots. There is Diana the Dodo, rated 400 from how do you say that? Mauritius? I don't know. But yeah, the Dodos, spoiler alert, it didn't work out for them. Tim the Turtle is rated 800 from Mexico. There is Rhonda, which I believe is a rhinoceros from the savannah, and this is Mozambique. Sunny, what kind of animal is that? I don't know. Is that a tiger or leopard? I'm not sure. I'm not a zoologist. This one is from Bhutan. And there is apparently woolly mammoth, Wallace, rated 2000 from the United States. I haven't seen one recently. It's been a long time. Anyway, I'm going to start with the lowest rated bot and let the computer choose the colors. And we'll just see if, we can beat this dodo. No pun intended. Anyway, the dodos were apparently just whacked with sticks because they were, it was easy. That was pretty bad of us, the humans that did that, but it was probably fun. So we did that. I'm hoping this bot will mess up, fairly quickly, but you never know. I have lost to low-rated bots before if you are new to my channel. Oh, I was going to fianchetto this bishop, but with pawns jumping down here, I may not do that. I think I'll just go ahead and take the full center here. I'm, guarding all these squares with pawns. Oh, but they've attacked that one and I'm not protecting it. So best way to protect it would probably be to put this knight out here or one of the knights over here maybe. I should probably get that knight out over there, which protects that pawn. Oh, this knight is sneaking out, not going there. Over here maybe? Let's get this bishop out. We might want a castle, but we might not. And I guess, you know what? Let's go for b4 here and just get a big queenside pawn push. I think that pawn is continuing to come. I'm going to have to go ahead and get that pawn out of the way because I'm not going to be able to keep defending it once this pawn comes forward. Oh my. I guess I'll let them have one of those pawns. I'm going to take their knight with a pawn, see what they do. I'm going to protect this pawn by moving it forward. I assume they're going to take they did not take my e-pawn, but that rook has moved over. Perhaps the dodo was trying to attack this rook, or they've gotten this knight out, knight to h6. I guess to defend the pawn that was going to push forward, but they didn't take this one, so should I take that one? Yes, I'm going to take it. Still not sure if I want a castle. Oh, the rook has moved over. Maybe it was worried about my rook attacking it. It also looks like it's helping to get behind this pawn, which is on its way. I'm going to take another pawn, and that pawn's protected, so I guess I'll take another one. Another pawn, should I do that? I'm going to take another pawn with check. I think they have to take back this time. Well, they didn't have to. They could have just moved the king out of check. And now I kind of want to move this knight and see if they want a queen trade, but I don't know. Should I castle? Because I know this pawn's coming, and now they have 3 pieces that will be defending it in that square. Let's see, what can we do? Well, I can attack the queen. Should I attack the queen? Let's attack the queen and see if it can continue defending this pawn. It can. All right. And now this knight is hanging. Guess we can defend it. I was going to say attack the queen again with this pawn, but that would be silly because then they would take that knight. But if I try to defend it, then they're just going to push that pawn. So I think I should bring this knight back. Oh, they're still going to push that pawn. Okay. Oh, they're coming this way. Okay, well, that knight's defended until they push the pawn, which they haven't done yet. I'm up 4 points of material, so I'm wondering if I shouldn't pull this knight out to attack the queen, which would encourage them to take my queen, and I would take their queen, and they would take my queen, and I would take their rook, and then I would still be up 4 points of material, and I would have a knight over here. I'm going to try that, see what they do. They're going to take here. Oh, they didn't. They moved over. Okay, if they took here, I was just about to decide to take with the bishop, but then that would have left this pawn undefended, and now that knight's undefended, but I'm going to defend it by moving the queen over here, which defends that knight and gets my queen out of danger. Oh, the rook has run away. Good for the rook. I'm really not sure what to do. I'm still not sure if I want a castle, especially with that rook pointed and that pawn coming. This Diana Dodo was doing pretty well. I don't know how it went extinct, seeing what's going on here. I'm going to move this pawn to guard that square. See what happens. Oh, the bishop has come to help, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of that explains several of those moves, is they're all pointed at g4, but they're still not moving that pawn to g4. I could just take the pawn now, and if they took back, I would take the rook, and then they would take my other knight, and that would be 2 knights for a rook and a pawn. So 6 points, 6 points. I would still be up 4 points of material. But I don't know if that's good. But again, I keep expecting this 400 rated bot to mess up at any time, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. It did not take, okay? It has, if I'm not mistaken, it's just given me the queen and that pawn. But I think I would rather have the queen. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the queen. Now, is it? No, but still, it's not going to take my knight. Well, this isn't free because the bishop is protecting it, but I do have a check here. So I'm going to check with the bishop, see where the king goes. Oh, they blocked with the rook. I'm going to take that with check. And then now should I castle now? I think I'm going to castle now, and I can put a rook over here. Oh, the king has moved over. Well, that pawn's undefended. I'm going to take it, and oh, the king has moved over again. I should not check there because of their knight, but I could bring a rook over this way to protect that square, and then check there. Oh, it's not a check now. The king is on the march. Well, now I can just check with the rook. I don't know if that was a good idea. The king has come back. Now I can't check with, yeah, I still can check with the knight, which is a fork, and they can't come there, but they could come here and fork my 2 knights. Oh my. Also, that's not a check. What was I thinking? This is a check. Let's do that. See if they want to take that. They did. Well, I'm going to take the rook then. And then I guess this pawn. That seems all right. I'm going to take this pawn. And now that pawn is in trouble. Oh, they took this pawn and I can't do anything about it. Except I can check. And then I'll have to move this. Oh, I was going to have to move this rook because they were attacking the rook, but they blocked the check with the bishop. I guess I'll attack the bishop now that it's pinned and see what we can do with that. I'll just go ahead and take it. And then they'll take back, I assume. They didn't. I could have sworn they were going to take back. I'm going to check with the queen. We are at move 34. I'm going to check. The king has to go to one of these 2 squares. Actually, it could have gone that way too, but it shouldn't have. Now I'm going to check with the knight, and it has to go into the corner, and then this is going to be checkmate. Finally, I probably did very poorly, and I also don't know what I was saying. I'm a little out of practice with making these videos. Should I run the game review on this one, or should I just go ahead and play the next bot? That took me 10 minutes. Oh, but I do need to save the game. The last time I played bots, I forgot to save one of them, and it was gone. Despite what one of you told me in the comments that you didn't have to click save game anymore. And I do go check my archives, or it's now called game history, to make sure that the game is there. Okay, the Dodo bot is there. So I will now move on to the next bot, play bots. We're going to play Tim the Turtle. And it looks like I'm going to get the black pieces for this one. All right, we have that as an opening. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to play d5 or c5 against that, but I don't want to. I want to play e6 just in case they play here. Then we're in the French defense. Oh, they didn't. Okay. Well, now I'm going to play d5 and c5. Okay, I ended up playing both of those anyway. And they took my knight. All right. Generally speaking, I've been taught you should not trade off an active piece for one that hasn't moved yet, but there might be a reason for that. I don't know. That might be a book move. We are in the ready opening Queen's Gambit invitation. Okay, I don't know how it could be the Queen's Gambit invitation if they haven't played that yet, right? Or this. And now they can't play c4 because the knight's in the way. But I also am not an expert, so. Oh yeah, if you're new to my channel, I'm not a title player or a chess coach. I'm a random person trying to get better at chess, and it's really hard at my age, over 50, to get better at chess. But I'm trying. And I'm going to get a knight out because I don't know what else to do, and then I'll maybe get this bishop out to d6. Not right now, though. Right now, I'm going to push this pawn. Maybe that knight will go somewhere. It went back. All right, and then no, I won't push that pawn because I don't have anything defending that square. But I will not put my bishop on d6 because then that pawn will fork my 2 pieces. Well, I don't know then. I'll put the bishop on this square here, which is e7. Yeah, it's been a couple of years now since I've been trying to get better at this stuff, and I'm still learning the names of the squares. I'm going to castle because it doesn't look like they have really good opportunities, to attack this way. I was trying to draw a line down that dark square diagonal, but the bishop's gone is my point. All right. Now they have another piece guarding this square, but they still haven't pushed that pawn. Is it trying to go in there? And if so, why? Oh, because of this? Is it trying? No, I have a pawn here. But if I push the pawn to attack the knight and it goes in here, then I really have to worry about c6, unless I move the bishop. Okay, let's do that. See if it goes in here. That was that was not its intent. Okay. But I am going to put my queen on c7, so then I can move the bishop to d6, and then they can't push that pawn forward to fork my pieces, because I would just take it, and then I'll take that knight with check. Yeah, like so. And now I'm a pawn ahead. Okay. I think that was good, but it might not be. It might not be. And then I'm going to drop my queen back just a little bit, and I'm going to start pushing pawns here like so. I don't know what that did, but I feel like I should take that and then put this bishop here on b7. Nope, not anymore. They've castled. I should still put the bishop on b7, I'm pretty sure. Let them take that pawn, because I assumed they were going to take it last time. They didn't. Okay. Well, if that bishop hadn't moved there, I was going to put the queen here, but instead I'm going to take the bishop. Then, oh, I don't know. Do they want to trade queens? Let's see if they want to trade queens. They did not want to trade queens. They wanted to take that pawn. Okay, I'll take their queen. Now this pawn's in danger, so I should protect it. Oh, that pawn's gone too. Both my pawns were in danger, but they didn't take this one. Guess I'll protect it. Oh, wow. Let's move this knight back here, and maybe we can come around some other way. Where's that going? Here? I don't know. I'm going to come this way and maybe try to get in there. Is that c3? That's what I'm trying to do here. I don't know what their knight is doing. Oh, that pawn's not defended? Okay. I guess I can defend it with the rook like so. That's defended. Okay, I'm putting this knight in here because that seems like a good place for it. That's why I wanted to do it. Not because it's really great. It just looks like a good place. And now two of their pawns can't go anywhere, so I think that's good. I do feel like this bot is also playing pretty well, but maybe not as well as the Dodo. You know what? Let's make a little out for the king just so I don't get back ranked at some point, because that has happened. I have two pieces guarding. Wow. I have two pieces guarding e4, so if they take, I can just take with this knight or the rook. So I should push there, right? Try to break this open. Let's do that. Oh, what? I did not expect them to give up the knight for this pawn. I should take it, right? Wait, there's not a trick here, is there? Is there a trick? I don't think there's a trick. I'm taking it. Okay, then they took that. If I take it, will they pin it with the rook? So I should take with the rook, right? I'm going to take with the rook, and then I'm going to scoot in there maybe? Oh no, they anticipated me scooting in there. How about that? That's a pretty smart bot, because that would have been my only reason for doing that. Now if I scoot in here, it's going to assume I'm after the other pawn, and they're going to bring the king. And again, if I try to use the knight to attack the rook, then it'll pin my knight to my rook. I should probably line my rooks up with each other. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Oh, I guess they can have that pawn. I'm going to come in here and get one of these two pawns. They did take that pawn, so I should take this one with check, right? I'm going to take that one with check, and then I can bring my other rook in like so, and we'll be checkmating them before too long, is my plan, and hope. Oh, they're coming after this pawn. Maybe they'll get it. Check. Let's see. My knight is slightly misplaced because I need it to be over there for that to be checkmate. That won't work though, because of where the rook is. See, if I check here, they go back, and then my rook is in the way of the check that I want. My goodness. All right, I'm going to take this pawn. They can have mine. Then I will check them like so, and now my knight can go there. But I don't know. Oh, no, not right now, because if I do, then oh no, I'll get their rook, and I'm a piece ahead. Okay, so if I check here and they take my rook, then I'll take their rook with check revealed from my other rook and get that pawn too. Think. Let's do that and see if Tim can handle it. That's a check from my rook, and that is taking their only passed pawn, but they've checked me, so I'm going to get out of check. Let's see. I want to be careful because we're at 43 moves and I'm just barely ahead. At least I think I'm ahead. Okay, what's my advantage is I have an extra piece and an extra pawn. I'm pretty sure if I lose the knight, then that extra pawn won't matter because it's on the same side. And I've been told that with this similar style pawn setup and each of us having a rook, that it's a draw, effectively. Maybe the computer could find some way to get the extra pawn down, but I don't know about that. So I think my main advantage right now is this extra piece. So I want to hang on to it. I would also like to get that pawn. Is there a way for me to do that? See, again, if I come here, they might do the thing where they try to pin the knight, but I would still get that pawn. So I think that's okay. They can't Oh, they can move to defend it. I was going to say they couldn't bring their king to defend it, but they can defend it by putting the pawn there. So, well, they did that. I'm going to bring my knight around this way, guarding this square here in case I need to check here in just a second. Okay. Wowee. Okay, well, let's say I go ahead and check, even though they've attacked my knight, which is my only advantage. They can't just move over because the knight is guarding that square. They have to move, not there. They'll have to move to not there because of the pawn. So they'll only have one legal move, right? If I check with the rook on f3, I'm pretty sure they only have one legal move. And then I can move the knight out of danger. But where? Maybe there? Because they won't be right next to it. I think I'm going to go ahead and check. I'm pretty sure the only legal move is to go to e5. I can check again now, but then they will have multiple legal moves at that point. And my knight's still hanging. So I want to be careful. I could check again with the knight, but then they go toward it. Oh, if they go toward it, I protect it and start knocking off these pawns. One of them, surely. What if they go a different route? Because, well, they would only have 2 legal moves at that point. 3. They would have 3 legal moves. One would be coming toward my rook, which is not good. But in that case, yeah, so I don't want to do that. Because if they come toward my rook, then what choice do I have? I guess I could move it. Like here? I don't know. I'm going to try it. I don't want to spend all day on this spot. I was hoping to make it to the next one, but yeah, I'm not doing very well. They did move toward the rook, so I'm going to put it down here and see what they do. Okay, let's put the rook someplace safe, and then I can bring the knight into safety as well, or I can go get one of those pawns. Since my rook is protected now, I'm going to get this pawn. Let's get a pawn, and then my knight can also be protected. Oh, wow. Oh, I've got to protect that pawn. How can I protect that pawn? I can protect that pawn by moving it forward. I can protect that pawn by bringing my king, or by moving the rook over. If I move it forward, then the rook's not protected anymore, but it can be. I'm going to move it forward. And if I need to, I'll put the rook up 1, so it will be safe. Okay, not sure what they're doing there. I would like to get rid of that pawn, their H pawn. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'll come in here if they didn't do anything. Okay, I'm going to take that pawn. If they check me, I'll come in here. They didn't check me. I'm going to keep pushing the pawn. They did check me. I think I'm good for a couple of turns. Oh, I'll take that, and then I'll go get a queen here. And we are at move 57 already. Okay, this is going to be a check, and then we can, fingers crossed, finish this off pretty quick. I'm just moving here to cut the king off in this space, and it has moved to the back rank, so I'm going to cut it off in an even smaller space and bring my king to checkmate in a few moves, because they don't have anywhere to go now. What a relief. Let's bring the king. Where are they going to go? Over there. Okay, now checkmate on this move right here. Wow, 65 moves. Well, I can tell I'm out of practice because it took me 25 minutes to take care of those 2 low-rated bots. I don't have enough time to play the third one, which was my intention. Maybe I'll try that the next time. I'm going to go ahead and use my daily game review on this game, assuming I have a game review left. I don't, okay? I don't remember using a game review earlier today, but I do know that since I only have the cheap paid account, which I paid for to get rid of the really annoying ads on this site and also to have unlimited puzzles. It doesn't come, I thought it came with 1 free game review per day. Actually, I thought everybody gets a free game review per day. Oh well, I don't know what happened there. You know what I can do though? What I can do is copy the PGN and take it to a place where they let you do analyses. I'm going to paste the PGN here like so, and import game and request a computer analysis, and we'll see. Yeah, it shows here that it was me against the turtle bot, and the game review is running down here. Okay, it looks... Wait, this is reversed, isn't it? I was playing with the black pieces. Okay, took me a while to find the flipboard button because it's buried in a menu there instead of really obvious like on the other site. Both sites have their problems. Anyway, it does look like I was ahead most of the way, but right at the beginning of the end game, I made a couple of mistakes, looks like, and we were even, and then 1 mistake. Okay, well, let's go to right there. Hopefully we'll learn something in the few minutes we have left. Okay, it wasn't a mistake. It was an inaccuracy. I should not have played bishop to b7. It probably says right there what I should have played. I'm not going to look at it. I am going to look at it eventually, but right now I'm trying to, oh, there was a free pawn, right? I bet that was it. Okay, I'm going to say rook capturing on that b, whatever, b, no. There was a free pawn over there. Oh my. That was my best move. Queen to c7 was my next best move. How bad would taking this pawn have been? Oh, pretty bad. It would have given away almost all my advantage. It would have been worse than an inaccuracy. Okay, well, had I looked around a little longer, I probably would have seen the h3 pawn hanging, but I'm, a little bit of a hurry because time crunch. But I played this, that's an inaccuracy, gave away a little bit of my advantage. Their best move was to trade off bishops, or to threaten the trade. It was not my best move to take. I should have just protected the bishop. My only move to maintain the minus 2.3. But instead I traded, so now it's under minus 2. And I had to play queen to e6. I guess still aiming at that h3 pawn, or queen to d7, which looks like it also aims at the h3 pawn. But queen to d5 does not aim at the h3 pawn, so it's bad. And apparently it was still bad to take that one. It was their best move to trade, but it wasn't much worse to take the a pawn, which they did. Now I should have taken the b pawn, but it's pretty close to trade queen, so I did that. I'm still very slightly ahead, but we're now here. So my next move takes us to even, which was an inaccuracy. I've already seen that I should have played e4 here, but I thought I needed the rook over here to play e4, but I don't. I could have just played e4. Wouldn't they have taken it? It says no. It says they would have moved their knight. Why wouldn't they have taken it? I would have taken back. That would have been an even trade. So I don't know why I should play e4 here or take the b pawn, but this is where I noticed that this pawn was hanging. Oh, that's why it's saying I should move it, because it's hanging. Well, I went to protect it, not realizing this one was also hanging. Okay, now I understand e4, because I have two pawns hanging. And the only way to take care of that, I guess, is to move that forward and do this trade, but then they would get this pawn and I would get that one. I think I understand e4 now, because we would come out even on the pawn trade. This pawn for that pawn, and then this pawn for this pawn. Or just taking that one first, in which case they're going to take this one, and then they wouldn't take that one for some reason. But anyway, I protected this one, not realizing that that one was hanging until too late. They aren't supposed to take it. They should play rook to a5, which threatens this one, but they played that later, didn't they? Or b3. Okay, well, they played b3. Now we're basically even. If I will play knight to d5, I did eventually play knight to d5, didn't I? But I think I took the long way around. Didn't I go around? I think I went around over here somehow. Oh my goodness, but I should have just played d5 directly. But instead I realized my a pawn was hanging, so I went to protect it. We're still even. They have several different moves. That one is okay. But now I should rook to c7 or e4. But yep, this is when I started my weird knight journey. I don't know what was I thinking. Oh my goodness, I'm embarrassed about that when I could have just gone straight there. Oh my. The bot had, again, several moves. That was one of them. I have a very, very slight advantage. I should have played h6 now, but I didn't know what their knight was doing there, so I went about my knight business. Now, they have a very, very slight advantage if they will put their knight... Oh, that's why they moved there, is to get in front of that pawn. Or that's why Stockfish would have moved there. But instead, they ran down here. Nobody knows why. I have a very slight advantage if I'll play f5, which... What? That's f5, but I don't know why I would play that. But knight to d5 is okay. It took me a long time to get there instead of the one move I could have done earlier. Very embarrassing. And they can move their rook to... See, they did get their rook to a5 eventually. It just took them a while. They went down there for some reason and came back. Little slingshot move. Rook to c7 was my only move to maintain my very slight advantage because I'm guarding both pawns. They should have brought their g-pawn or got in front of my pawn, but instead they went there, and I was not supposed to head to c3 at any point, apparently. b4, oh, because b4 would have attacked the pawn, but then they would have just protected it. Okay, this is another one of those instances where Stockfish says your best move is to attack that vulnerable pawn, but your opponent can see that and will protect it. So I thought, wouldn't it be better just to make sure that pawn never goes anywhere? But no, Stockfish knows better. They moved their king for unknown reasons. f5 again. Did not think about that. I did think about their knight coming back here, so I played h6. g4 is not their best move now. It was earlier, but they played this now, and apparently it was one of their best moves because the rating didn't change much. e4 is showing up there as one of my top moves. Okay, good for me. They were definitely not supposed to give away the knight. Okay, so are we at the point? Yeah, this is where they lost the game, right there. When they did that, I had no idea that I was ahead. I thought they were going to take this pawn, which is what it says they would do, and then I would take back with the knight. I probably would have I know it changed its mind while I was talking. I'm positive it said I would take back with the knight first. But yeah, they would take, and I would take back with the rook. If I took back with the knight, I'm pretty sure they would have tried to pin me. But that would have just been a trade and would have been very close to even. Yep, they definitely, oh, they would have moved the rook over anyway, had I taken with the rook, because it's protected by the knight. Yeah, this game would have went on a long time if the turtle had played its best move here, but I was pretty sure that was bad, and it was definitely my only move. No, it wasn't my only move to take it. I could have taken here and I still would have been up almost -4, according to this version of Stockfish. Wow. And then their knight would have gotten away, probably to over here. But yeah, I'm past my time now. Thank you for spending your time here on my channel. Hopefully I will edit this down to a manageable viewing length. And hopefully I'll have time in the next few days to play the next one of those bots over here on chess.com, where it does list the Earth Day bots. The next one would be Ronda the Rhino at 1350. But as much trouble as I had with this Dodo and this turtle, I'm probably not going to beat the Ronda the Rhino. Anyway, let me know if you've tried any of these April bots or whatever else you're doing chess-wise, and I'll see you next time.